All right, we're here with the Magic Man himself, Paulie Malignaggi. How you doing, champ?
What's up, my man? Shout out to my boy Chris Glover.
Yes, Chris Glover. Shout out to the Scouser, Chris Glover, out down back home in South Florida. But yeah, Paulie, I wanted to pick your brain, man, because if anybody knows boxing, it's definitely you, man. How you seeing this Canelo Plant fight tomorrow?
I think Caleb has the ability to win it, but he's got to be very disciplined. Because otherwise you're going to favor Canelo in a lot of different ways. I think for Caleb's only way to win, he's got to be very successful in the early rounds. Not allow Canelo to land a big shot that could probably start debilitating his way. So I feel like Caleb, every other scenario involves Canelo winning. The scenario that involves Caleb it's the one scenario for me that involves Caleb winning. He's got to have a perfect first 3 rounds, really outbox him and put Canelo in the hole, both psychologically and also on the scorecards. And then from there, he'll have enough energy to kind of hold off Canelo's surge, trying to overcome the deficit. But if Caleb has success early on, but not perfect success, meaning if Canelo starts to land a couple of big shots despite the success Caleb has, I think Canelo probably starts to break down Caleb late. So I don't think perfection is a necessity for Canelo early on. I think perfection is a necessity for Canelo early. I still think he can get to Caleb late. But if Caleb is going to have a chance to win this fight, he's got to box the way Caleb Plant can box at his best for the first few rounds and put Canelo in that hole, and which can then, he can take that momentum until later rounds.
Okay. Could you see a scenario where Canelo Alvarez presses Caleb Plant in the first 4 to 6 rounds?
I wouldn't be surprised, but Caleb has all his energy in the beginning, so I think Caleb is going to do his most masterful boxing early on. The only thing, the intangible you have to keep in mind is the tightness, the tenseness of the moment. I feel like Billy Joe felt it. It's the biggest moment of your career, and anxiety, the loudness, the emotion of the moment. And if you're a fluid, smooth fighter and you get emotional, intense, it will affect your style.
Yeah.
I felt like that happened with Billy Joe. I'm curious to see if Caleb is able to keep his emotions in check in this kind of magnitude of an atmosphere tomorrow night, because it will be loud and it will be deafening.
Did that ever happen to you when you were fighting? Because I know you're in a lot of big fights.
Yeah, I felt that in the Cotto fight. I felt like I started the fight too tight because just the moment. You're not just fighting a terrific fighter. You're also fighting an impressive crowd, which is there to see you get beat.
Yeah.
It's very loud. You have to kind of get used to that. I remember I didn't deal with that as well early on in the Cotto fight, but by the time I fought Juan Diaz in a similar crowd, similar tough crowd, everybody against me, I felt like I handled that very well early in the fight.
I thought you won that fight too, by the way.
I thought I did.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, I wanted to ask you this, man. Like, what you, I heard you got the new boxer thing going on with the commentating, so that's welcome news to have your mouthpiece back in the sport.
Yeah. I got the gig with Boxer, the head of U.S. media relations with Boxer, a company over in the UK. They're doing big things. I'm also working with BlueFight.tv here in the U.S. I'll be working with Pro Box Promotions in the new year down in Florida.
Yep, Gary Jonas.
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of big plans there as well. And I work with BYB as well. BYB Bare Knuckle, it's an up-and-coming bare knuckle company with a lot of big plans and really a strong team behind them as well. So I'm excited to be part of the combat sports world again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I really missed your analysis on boxing, so it's good to have it back.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, like you have a is there a young fighter right now that's really caught your eye? Like, I know you're really like big on fighter development.
I sponsor a couple of kids in Italy, Alessio and Christian Angelosi. Christian is a pro. He's got about 5 or 6 fights now. And he actually turned pro. I've been sponsoring him just down in the amateurs. As far as young prospect contenders that I really like, Jerron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz have really been impressive to me. With all no disrespect to other prospects, because I remember when I was coming up, people used to talk about Cotto, Bajano, and Ricardo Williams, and I used to hate that they didn't mention me in the same light.
Yeah.
So I know there's probably other prospects that are right below those guys who may impress later on, and they're not getting the attention they deserve. But with all respect to those guys, I think the most eye-catching guys so far have been Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Ennis.
Jerron Ennis. That could be like a super fight in the future, Jerron Ennis.
Yeah, it could be. Or hopefully it's not a super fight that we all hope to make and know it doesn't get made like some of the other big fights.
Yeah. I was actually at the Boots fight, and I've seen a lot of fight. I know you've seen a lot of fighters in person, but like Boots in person is like something special. It's a bit more special than it is on TV.
I worked one of his fights too when I was back at Showtime.
Yeah.
Very impressive, as is Virgil. Virgil's an interesting guy. I met him yesterday, spoken to him. He's He's a musician.
Yeah.
Self-taught musician, very gifted individual. You know.
Tells like had a dry sense of humor. Tells a lot of jokes.
Yeah. So it's these are the kind of things you learn the little intangibles about these guys. It makes you more fans. It makes you look forward to seeing them because you feel like it's not just about the fighting that you know them for. Now you have other reasons to root for them. So I like both of those guys. I also like Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee, a 40-pounder.
Very, very impressive, actually. I forgot about him. My apologies. Brandon Lee's very, very impressive. I started following him on Instagram, and he's actually so impressive.
There's a kid on one of those Pro Box cards that I like a lot. He's like 1-0. Najee Lopez.
Najee Lopez has also been very impressive. Yes, over at Pro Box. Good stellar amateur career. Also the Valle brothers, speaking of Pro Box.
Who?
The two Valle brothers.
Okay.
Marcus Valle and Dominic Valle.
Okay.
Very, very impressive.
I'll check them out.
Standout amateurs out of Puerto Rico. They've got my attention. A couple of other prospects down at Pro Box, but so far those are the guys that have stood out to me. But I look forward to the development of all these guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, and I'll be working down there as well.
It's a lot of fun. Well, I don't want to hold you up because I'm sure you got things to do, but any message to the boxing world?
Nah, man. I'm back for what it's worth. I'm back.
Okay, he's back. All right, Paulie Malignaggi, thank you, man.